All right, welcome back to Broken Boys. This is episode 181. I'm Colin,
I'm Mike.
and today we're going to be doing a little random things bracket like we did a couple months ago, probably at this point.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But first, before we get into that, how was your week, Mike?
A week was fine. Somewhat productive, somewhat not, a little mix of things. Um, I mean, productive in terms of music stuff, honestly. Just a little bit. I worked on some various things, some composition things, and then also some EP album things, whatever you want to call them.
Mm.
Yeah, but I can't get into those on the pod. But just know they're happening. But this week been a various gaming week a little bit, I guess. I finished Hitman. Got all those achievements in there. I remember if I talked about it last week, but there's the last few ones I had were like these sniper achievements, and like
Yeah.
yeah, they sucked. They were bad. They were not fun. Um, yeah, there was one like you were like doing the sniper thing in like Siberia, and you had to like kill everyone, which is like 17 people or something like that. Kill all the targets without actually shooting them. So like electrocution or dropping something on them or something like that. And it's just it was hard. It was really annoying, and like literally RNG uh, plays a big factor into whether or not you get it. So, but it's
Awesome.
done. Did it all good. And finished that, and then downloaded Jedi Fallen Order. Um,
Yeah.
I got on sale a couple months ago, I think at this point. Or no, I think it was beginning of July. I don't know. But yeah, got got that going. Have played a little bit of that so far. It's good. I like it a lot. Um, Cal Cuchesto is pretty cool. Um,
Mhm.
um, I do like a lot of the facial animations in particular. Oh, the facial animations. They just I don't know. They look like real people. It's crazy. Um, Very detailed when it comes to that stuff. The gameplay
Mhm.
seems to be pretty good so far too. I've heard it was Souls-like, but
Yes.
I definitely see the comparisons once I'm actually playing it. um, so getting a little used to some of that too. Um, but yeah, I'm liking it so far. I think I just stepped foot on my second planet. So it's snowy there. Uh, that's the one I chose. Um, but yeah, it's cool. I really like a lot of the details and stuff in there. I didn't know you could like completely customize your own lightsaber, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you can customize a lot of things, but yeah,
Yeah, the customization in that one's good, but the second one goes crazy. You
it
can do
goes
so
even
much in this.
crazier.
Oh yeah,
Damn,
there's so much content.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess the version I downloaded has like premium content or something in it too. So my lightsaber is like orange. It's nice.
Oh,
It's like
nice.
yeah, matches Cal's hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, the acting is really good in it so far, and like the character structure is really good, and the set pieces are very good so far too. So it's
Yeah.
pretty fun. I'm enjoying it. I
Good
forgot
to
to
hear.
yeah. I forgot to mention last week, but my friends and I started up a Minecraft server. Going for our 2 week binge. But we're we have it so we're only playing when everyone's on. So
Mm,
no one's like getting far ahead behind the scenes or something like that. All the time we have is all the time we have.
yeah.
So that I think that's been pretty good though. It's fun doing that. It's like very modded, so it's barely Minecraft, but it's still fun.
Right.
Yeah. And then also kind of back on my bullshit as well. Um,
Oh,
uh-huh. Uh, a membership has been purchased. But uh, It's only I'm not gonna go too crazy with it. I'm telling myself that too because I was telling myself not to play RuneScape before I'm employed again.
Yeah.
But my friend Vanessa is now at like the levels where we can start doing like end game content together, and one of her friends is really pushing for all of us to do that. So we're just gonna like learn some things this weekend about some of that stuff, and then you know, uh, run some stuff I guess for the next few days or so. But I'm only gonna do that, and then get my quest cape back, and then that's basically it. Maybe I'll play if like I'm listening to an album or something, but
Yeah.
I'm keeping myself on the down low. I'm not having any other goals outside of that. So that's the dangerous path to fall into. It's one of those games where it's like I guess Minecraft can be like that sometimes too. But it's just like you have a goal in mind, you want to get that done. You're like, oh wait, I could do this also. I could do this also. I could do this, and it's just a mess. But yeah, so I'm a little gamer boy, but I'm also getting stuff done. So I swear. So it's it's a mix. Um, but that's pretty much all that happened this week. It was a big storm today. I
Uh,
don't know if that hit you. I don't. I think it came from the north for us, so I don't think it would have hit you. Maybe it did. I don't know.
yeah. No, I mean we're getting a little bit of a thunderstorm right now.
Yeah.
Uh, didn't have anything earlier today.
Mm. Yeah. Well, yeah. When I said today, I meant like 2 hours ago, an hour ago. I don't know. So maybe that's what went by us. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, yeah. I haven't really done anything too like significant that's interesting to talk about. So
Mm.
yeah, that's me.
You
But how? Oh, what's up?
listen to anything?
Oh, yes, I did. Thank you. Um, I don't know why I forget that all the time. I listened to two things. One of them, Paranul, the South Korean artist. I've mentioned him a couple times here. I think he had an
Yeah.
album last year that came out. But he had a new album come out, I think 3 weeks ago now, but it just got put to streaming services like 2 weeks ago. Um,
Mm.
listen to that. It's called Sky 100. Uh, I think it's good. I'm still struggling to get into him as much as the rest of like the chronically online music listeners get into him. Um,
Yeah.
he has like a very he has a very big fan base on like album of the year or so. And they were very mad when Fantano gave this album a 6. They said it's
Uh-huh.
it's the new My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Um, but I thought it was good. It has good moments to it. It's mixed very aggressively. So like some of the drums almost remind me of like I don't know, some of the early car seat headrest stuff where like it's like really in your face and lo-fi type, but also kind of shoegazy a little bit. It's I'm not entirely sure if I love it for the whole thing, but it's good. It has good moments on it. Liked it. Um, and then I
Mm.
also listened to the new Post Malone album, which
Oh,
it's that F1 Trillion, I think is what it's called.
yeah.
Yeah, F1 Trillion. Um, I it's a country album. I think if you like country music, you'll like it. But I'm workshopping how to word this for my album of the year review. But if he did pop rock as faithfully as he did, this country or pop country, uh,
Yeah.
you know, the pop rock album would have been very good for Austin. Which there is still good moments on Austin. I still like parts of Austin, but like he was very faithful to pop country here, which is not a great thing. um,
Um,
like there's some good moments on it, but it's also 18
well,
songs long. So yeah, there's also a lot of not great moments. Very stereotypical. Oh, my beard, my truck. You know,
yeah.
apparently he's a God fearing man now. And
Uh,
also I didn't know he had a kid. But
yeah. This,
the whole last song was kind of like this, like, ode to when his child's older or whatever. And I'm like, does he even have a child? At first I thought I was like, is this like this blatantly not written for him? But I guess he had a kid. I didn't hear about that. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's not great. I haven't figured out a rating for it yet, but yeah, it feels somewhere in the fours or so for me. Don't really love it. Can't say, but I do like the first song. The first song's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, but
That was the one with Dolly Parton on it. Was that one? All right.
That was one of my least favorite ones.
Oh.
There's some weird processing done to her voice that just makes her sound like a robot the whole time.
Mm.
And like there's like times when Post and her singing at the same time, and there's just like zero vocal chemistry there. Like they just
Oh
sound
no.
not good over the top of one another. Um, yeah, that was one of my least favorite tracks. I did not like that one. Um, it also
Yeah.
it also made me realize. I mean, it's easy to make fun of country for this, but like how like everyone sounds the same. It
Yeah.
literally sounds like he got one male country artist feature for this album, and there's like a different feature on every song, and it sounds like the same person keeps coming in. Um, but yeah, yeah, it was not my favorites. I can't say so. But anyways, how about you? What's going on, Colin Land?
Not a whole lot. Just I was given 4 days off this week, but I picked up a shift on Tuesday, so I only had three.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as I've been having the last few weeks, but it was all right. Central Illinois is back to hustling and bustling as
Yeah, I
school's about to
think it
start.
was Welcome Week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so um, you know, had to we went and got food after work today and came back and had to park on the fourth floor when we've been parking on the first floor the entire summer.
Mm,
So that's been fun.
yeah.
Uh, eh, Before the rain started, there was some nice loud bass boosted uh, stuff underneath us.
Oh,
So
cool. Meeting the new neighbors.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
same as
Oh, same ones.
well, I don't know. A lot of people moved out, so
Yeah.
but uh, otherwise, just been hanging out. I was eagerly awaiting the new Fortnite season. Played a game this morning before work, and that was good. I'm liking the Marvel stuff. The first game and only game we played, we won, so that was a
Nice.
good introduction to the season.
I would hope so.
Um,
Yeah.
but but yeah, that's been good. I re-downloaded God of War Ragnarok. I haven't restarted the game yet, but I've been playing through like the Valhalla DLC, which is it's kind of like it's like roguelike, like Hades and games like that where you die and restart and have to
Hmm.
like build up your stuff through each run.
Yeah.
Been getting back into that. It's going back and playing God of War after not having played it in a while. It's like getting used to the controls. It's like
Yeah, I can
it doesn't
imagine.
it doesn't take too super long, but it's like it's a lot different than just my usual. I've just been playing Fortnite recently, so
Yeah, a little different.
a little different.
Yeah, I imagine it's just like the 2016 or yeah, 2016 if not more with like the combos and stuff that you can do with fighting and all that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotta get used to all those again.
Yes, but it's been good. I love that game. So, um, otherwise, work's been work. Today was very busy. It's getting busy again because everyone's back down here.
Yeah.
Which has its positives, but also has its negatives. Lots of idiots, but also at least we're not sitting around. I suppose
Yeah.
uh, most of the time it's just like today before uh, I left. I ended up staying like a half hour because first off, Max didn't get off till 7:30, and I was supposed to get off at 7. And but like we were so busy, and like our manager was busy helping customers up front, so I just decided to stay and help for a little while. And then like he just told me to like go clean spoons for like a McFlurry's,
Yeah.
and before I left, and I was like, okay, cool. But it was already like 7:10 at that point,
Yeah.
and took me like 5-10 minutes to clean the spoons off. And came back and I was like, well, there's a lot of fries on the screen and nobody's doing fries right now, so I'll just stay for the last like 10 minutes or so. So I made up for my break.
There you go.
I got the money for that. But we'll see how the week goes with school starting. But otherwise, not a whole lot. Didn't end up watching anything this week. I didn't finish Monkey Man or anything. I just didn't have a drive to watch anything. I watched like the first episode of season 2 of Daredevil because I had a craving to watch some Daredevil. And that's good shit. John Bernthal as the Punisher is fantastic.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was part of season 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but the other day I got on Terraria and listened to a couple things. Or not Terraria, Stardew Valley.
Different games.
Same style, different games.
Yeah.
But I got on Stardew Valley and listened to a couple albums. 2 albums with oddly similar album covers. I listened to "You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To" by Knocked Loose.
Yeah.
And I
know the other one.
I Laid Down My Life for You by JPEG Mafia.
Yeah.
Knocked Loose. It was good. I grew up listening to like Disturbed and like other metal things, and I've always been a fan of like that metal instrumental, like the fast drums, heavy guitars and bass. That's always been like a nice, energetic style of music. But I've never been like a screamy vocals type of person. So it took a few songs to get used to it. But after a while, I started to like it. The last leg of the album I was really enjoying. But the one song with Poppy on it was good. I remember you saying you liked that one.
Yeah, I remember liking that one a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good album overall. I might have to return to it, but
that's one I've been meaning to return to as well. Like since I listened to it. Oh yeah, I will before the end of the year. But yeah,
for sure. But it was good. And then the JPEG Mafia album, that was also very good. It's it's still like weirder production for me in the hip hop world. Like the only other thing that I've heard JPEG produce is Scaring the Hose, and it's like that in a sense, but not it's not as weird because it doesn't have Danny Brown on it. So it's good. There's a lot of cool lyricism on there, a lot of cool production. I like the attitude and everything. It's one that I'll have to return to really gain like a better thought process on. But I did enjoy my time with it. I thought it was a good listen. Interesting. I listened to these back to back, so it was like interesting vibe switches and production styles.
I feel like you gotta take like a shower or something after listening to those 2 back to back.
I might have, honestly.
Yeah.
But it was good. I liked them both. Stardew Valley, it's like I can listen to anything while I do that.
Yeah,
so,
sorry. I forgot that Stardew was in the background for both of those albums too. That makes that even funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was catching fish and just listening to screaming and strange production, but it was good. I enjoyed both. But otherwise, that was pretty much my week. Just yeah.
Nice. I forgot to mention earlier this week. I forgot to put my notes, but I watched Guardians of the Galaxy with my mom.
The first.
Yep, that was my first time seeing that in full. I thought that was good. I kind of went into it expecting to like it more, which I have a habit of doing that with things in general. But so like I felt, I don't know. I feel like if I were to watch it again, maybe I would like it a little bit more. But it was good though. I definitely really liked each of the characters. Each of the characters were the highlight of the movie for sure.
For sure.
Like I liked how their dynamics worked and how they they're a ragtag team up, but like in a way that feels natural, not like completely
Yeah.
forced or something. Like it was written well how they teamed up and everything. So yeah. I also didn't expect. I mean, I guess spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy from 2014.
We all moved up.
Yeah, I didn't know Thanos was in there. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Was that like his first like aside from like an end credits thing? Was that his first appearance in a movie?
Yeah.
Mm.
I think in the first, was it the first or the I think it was either the first or the second Avengers where he like showed up and he's like, "I'll do it myself."
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Like, well, seeing a clip of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was his first. That was his first full credit.
Hmm. Yeah, it was cool though. I was like, oh, I know that guy. But
Yeah,
yeah, it made some of the stuff in Infinity War make a little more sense too, with like Gamora and
yeah.
Blue's sister, who I'm forgetting the name of,
Nebula.
Nebula. Yeah, it made some of that stuff make a little bit more sense. Even though I haven't seen Infinity War in a while, it's like, oh yeah, I do remember like these dynamics though. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah, but that
yeah.
was good though.
The Guardians movies are good. The third one, which came out last year, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really, really good. The second one, I wasn't a big fan of it on first watch, but it grew on me over the years.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's it's a really solid trilogy.
Yeah.
I think that one, Captain America and um, Spider Man have like the better trilogies in the MCU.
Yeah.
So
That sounds about right. But yeah, we watched that. My mom is still recovering from the surgery stuff. It was kind of ironic, I don't know. But my dad was like in like emergency care or whatever one day because of his leg was acting up. He's okay. But
okay.
my mom was worried about him, so like that's kind of why we watched the movie. It was like just to take our minds off something. She was like, oh, "What's like a fun MCU movie?" And she's like, "What about like Deadpool or something?" I was like, "I don't think you're gonna like Deadpool." I was like, "It's a fun one, but I don't think you would like the violence in it." But and I was like, "Oh,
Oh
I've heard the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are fun." Um,
yeah.
and then I was like, okay, cool, let's watch that. And then it opens up with that scene with, Peter Quill and his mom. I'm like, I'm like, I swear these are fun movies. Yeah,
So much fun.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah. Not watching Deadpool is probably a good call. That whole, fucking around the year every holiday was probably wouldn't
yeah,
have been great for her either. So
I was surprised to see that Deadpool was on Disney Plus, like the first one,
yeah,
especially. Like the first one's pretty explicit when it comes to sex stuff. So
yeah, yeah. Disney Plus added the Deadpool movies. They added Logan.
yeah.
Um, so they don't. It's not all for kids anymore.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
uh,
I remember the days where they were censoring F-bombs and stuff like that. And like I remember
yeah,
with Hamilton, I think they had to censor all of them as well for whatever reason.
yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever.
They did.
I'm
I
glad.
mean,
Yeah. What's
in
that?
Guardians 3, they had the first F bomb in the
Hmm.
MCU's.
Yeah, I've seen that clip before. I remember hearing all about that. So
Yeah,
it's funny how there's that, and then the next F-bombs were probably Deadpool, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
0 to 100.
yeah, I saw a counter that was like um, the amount of F bombs in the MCU is like 119, with like one being from Guardians and the other 118 being from Deadpool 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that checks out.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah. Well, for some music news stuff, I'm not sure if you saw anything about this, but Black Midi apparently gone.
I saw your note on Instagram that
Yeah.
said rip, I guess. So
Yeah, Rip Black
I
Midi,
looked
I
into it a
guess.
little, like super into it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much info. Basically, the lead singer, Jordy Greep, was on like Instagram Live or something, and it was just
Um,
something like, no more Black Midi, it's over, or something like that. But I think he spelled it, it was funny. He said no more Black Midi, and then at first he put it's Ivor, and then corrected it to over, and then people were making memes like, "Oh, Black Midi, Bon Iver, when?" Um, um, but like he also memes around a lot, so people didn't know whether or not that was true. And then
Right.
like the bassist, who also like does like vocals on songs like Slow and things like that. The other vocalist, he he like went on Twitter. He like basically confirmed it. He was just like, "Well, I thought we were supposed to keep this a private affair, but yeah, Black Midi's on indefinite hiatus, pretty much."
Oh,
Um,
no.
so yeah, they're focusing on solo work, and apparently there's like room to leave the door open there. It's very much like I don't know. It feels like weird tensions between them at the moment. But you know, it's a little sad, especially because they're those three albums. I love them all. I think I've mentioned before that they're all nines for me. Like they're very good in their
Yeah,
own right. Um, and yeah, it's a little sad, but it's just like,
that is unfortunate.
what was that?
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, but I think the lead singer Jordy Greep announced his first solo project's coming out like in October 4th or something, and I think the bassist Cameron, I think he's working on solo work right now too. So we'll see. I don't know. Part of what made that group so good though is like how their weird styles blended with that amazing drummer. So
Yeah.
shout out Morgan. I don't know what he's gonna do next, but honestly, I feel like he has the most versatility outside of the group. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, rip Black Midi, I guess.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
We'll see you at some point
Maybe.
on artist analysis.
Yes. That'd be a
Um,
good one.
yeah, I think they're on the wheel, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Um, but yeah, and then 21 Pilots tour started.
Yeah.
Um, I uh, I already splurged. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say anything, but
Yeah, I was gonna talk about how tour started and I have zero self control. So
yeah, me too. I was like, damn. I think if the show were closer, I'd be able to do
yeah,
it. But because it's like 2 months away, it's like I want to see what's happening, you know?
yeah. No, I I was like, you know, I'll probably look at the set list, but I'll try not to watch videos.
Mm,
And I was like, I could probably last like a day. And I was like, maybe like an hour,
yeah,
like 5 minutes.
5 seconds. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, I watched some live streams throughout the show and
Well,
saw a lot of cool shit.
you're actually worse than me then because I've only seen the set list. Um,
Oh,
I have not seen any video, and I think it was like the working set list that had like, I guess spoiler alert if someone cares that's watching. But Oldie Station was supposed to be played and it wasn't. So like,
yeah.
that's the only thing I've seen, but I haven't seen like any of the sets that they're doing or any of the how the songs sound. I was seeing something that people were saying there's like alternative mixes of some songs. I was like, oh, John Bellion, what? But I don't know. I don't know. Don't tell me. I don't know.
I will not spoil any sets or anything like that, but they do
Yeah,
a lot of cool shit that I'm very excited for.
cool.
Um,
I
the
mean,
set
we knew
list
they would,
is
but yeah,
oh yeah, the set list is huge though. They played
yeah,
for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and they played like 30 plus songs. So
yeah.
uh, fucking crazy. But yeah, looks really cool. I saw the merch and stuff. And
Mm,
there's a couple of things, but I don't know. The Clancy merch is not nearly as cool as the Scaled Nicey or Trench merch. So
yeah.
um,
Which is unfortunate because I feel like the colors they definitely could do some cool stuff with, but
they could, but I'm really surprised that they didn't like pull the trigger on like selling the stole, like the Clancy stole.
yeah.
Um, but you know, I would have bought that if they sold it, to be honest. But
Yeah, as
uh,
much as this band is like extremely creative and a bunch of stuff, it's weird how hit or miss their merch is. Like
right, yeah,
it feels like that should be hits all the time, but like even during the trench era, there was only like a few things that were like really cool. They sold a lot of like weird, not good
yeah.
looking things during trench era.
The Scaled Nicey stuff was probably the best stuff.
Yeah, ironically, yeah, Skill Nicely is probably the best merch.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. There were a couple cool shirts, and I'll probably buy something. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll definitely get something because I'm a
Yeah.
fucking simp. But
Hmm.
it's yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Me too.
Should be a really really good show.
Hmm.
But they also had the night before the concert, the band posted that they were gonna, there would be no camping before shows,
Yeah.
and that at 8 a.m. you can come to the venue and get the first 500 people that come will get wristbands, but they're encouraged to go and get ready for the show, eat, rest,
Hydrate.
hydrate,
Yeah.
uh, which is a good thing, and I'm very glad that they're doing that. Because like the people that were like, oh, every day 10 days before the show come in at these times for check-in, it's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But it's just glad to see that they're kind of cracking down on that stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
um, I saw they're doing like that little museum, Tony
Right.
Ohio's museum, and I was seeing the stuff from there too. Apparently there was like a new DEMA letter within the exhibit.
Oh.
And it's like it's title it's like forwarded like Dear Elliot, and I don't know who
Oh.
Elliot is. People are speculating that might be Torchbearer's real name or
Hmm.
something like that. But yeah, there's some cool stuff. They have the Grammy and the underwear that they accept their Grammys in.
The underwear
Um,
itself was there.
yes,
Oh. Yeah.
it was the Grammy, and then the underwear was underneath the Grammy, kind of just draped over the table it's on.
Yeah.
Um, and also the regional at best photo was there, and it said the family photo, the Joseph family photo that was used for the regional at best album cover, and people were
Yeah.
like, "It's a family photo." I was like, "Yeah." I mean, doesn't the kid kind of look like one of the Josephs?
Yeah. I was
Like
like, I'm pretty sure that's either Tyler or like Jay. um,
maybe Zach or somebody. I don't know,
Zach. That's the one I meant to say. Zach. Yeah.
but it was cool. Lots of cool stuff in there. The little merch bundle that comes with um that comes with getting to do that
Yeah.
is did not look very worth it to me though. It's just it's like a clear bag with like the Ned's bread decal on it,
Mm.
and then you have like a laminate and a signed thing, a couple pins. It's like it's cool stuff, but nothing that's like, I don't know, worth the
Not worth
150
$150. Yeah.
yeah. And like they were allowing phones within the exhibit, so people
Oh.
could take pictures of everything. And
Yeah.
it's kind of glad I didn't spend my money on that.
Yeah.
Even if I had the money to do it, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it was cool.
I guess next album name confirmed Elliot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very excited for that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm very excited for the show. Can't wait. Other music news. There's a new Phineas album coming out
Oh.
in October, early October. I think it's the 4th or the 9th.
Okay.
But it's the first song came out is for Crying Out Loud, or
Hmm.
Crying Out Loud, and that's the name of the album too. I listened to that song before getting on here, and I liked it. I think that Phineas sounds good on it. I like the production. There's some cool hornage and saxophone.
Okay.
Um, it sounds good though. I like the Optimist, so I'm interested in hearing how this one goes. It's a 10-track album, as like Billy's was, so we'll see. But it was good.
Cool. Yeah. I might listen to that when that comes out. I'll have to see.
Um, F1 Trillion came out today. You shared your thoughts on that. I haven't
Yeah.
listened to it yet. I'll probably listen to it.
Mm.
Birds of a Feather off of Hit Me Hard and Soft reached platinum already, which is kind
No.
of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Album came out
still.
in May,
Hmm. No,
and
okay.
like Sorry.
No, I was gonna say you continue.
um, but yeah, it was just crazy to me that like a song that came out in May without being a fucking single or anything reached platinum status
Yeah.
already. But
Yeah, I was just gonna say I still think that song is kind of mid. So I mean, like
yeah,
I get why people like it a lot, but like I was just like I don't know. There's I don't know.
there's a lot better on the album. It's a very cute and sweet song,
It
but
is, yeah,
it's very much a radio song, which is probably why it managed to reach that status already.
yeah.
But yeah, thought that was pretty cool. Um, but do you have any more music news?
No, I think that's all I have. I mean, Magdalena Bay is next week, and I'm very excited for that still. So, um, but no,
I'll
I
have to,
have not listened to it. What's that?
I'll have to listen to that one when it comes out.
Yes, I'm hoping it's very good because I like the singles a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't listened to the other singles, but that first one
mm-hmm.
was very very good. So
Yeah,
been on repeat. So
yeah.
uh, in news, I haven't seen a lot of political stuff this week, but there were a couple things. Um, uh, there was a Elon and Trump had a little X interview on
Okay.
Space for a couple hours. The Trump was just allowed to ramble and rant about everything. Uh, he said something about like nuclear energy and how it was like dangerous or something, and
Whoa.
but it's like wow.
Insightful.
and Elon was like, yeah, but I mean, yeah, Elon just didn't have much to say. He just kind of like let Trump go on and on.
Hmm.
Um, but the website it wasn't like working for the first little bit. They were supposed to start at like 8 or something on Tuesday, and they weren't able to start it on time
Hmm.
because the website couldn't take the traffic or whatever for a space like that.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, Elon was tweeting. He's like, "Well, there's a DDoS attack that we're investigating right now." And it's like, "No, man, you fired the people that could have helped you with this." So,
Yep.
but that was fun. Uh, and then what else did I write down? Did I write anything else down? I don't think I did for
Mm.
political things. But Emaine Khalif, the boxer that was
Yes.
called the man. She filed a suit in Europe for a online harassment.
Hmm.
She named Elon, J.K. Rowling, and Jake Paul within that.
Oh
So
shit. Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
that was Logan Paul, meant
Oh,
Logan
okay.
Paul.
I was gonna say I remember hearing about Logan. Yeah.
I could see both doing it though.
Oh, absolutely.
But I I saw that like if everything goes through, like they could owe her like lots of money and spend a little time in jail. I doubt it'll really do anything, but like
Yeah. I doubt the jail time, but the money.
yeah, I hope so because she deserves something.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, absolutely.
but yeah, it was cool. And then also, I don't know if you saw anything about this, but the Matthew Perry, the
Yeah.
stars of Friends, Chandler from Friends,
Hmm.
died months ago. Like, was it
That was last year,
was it
wasn't it?
was it last year? Yeah, I think it was like late last year.
Yeah.
But he overdosed and was found in his hot tub,
Hmm.
and it was deep like an accident. But all of a sudden this week, 5 people close to him were arrested for like allowing him to buy it and also like
Oh.
supplying him with it and like injecting him with it.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, it's like I don't know if it's like a murder charge or something like this, but like there were 5 people
I mean, I feel like
arrested.
injecting him with it. That sounds. That sounds like murder.
Yeah, well, I think like his like a doctor of his. I don't know if it was a doctor of his or
Oh.
something. like a Michael Jackson situation.
Yeah.
Doctor kind of had him overdose, whether it was an accident or not. But there were some like text messages between people that were like, "Oh, how much do you think we could get out of this?" or something like this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you know, he was doing good with staying off drugs, and it's his rehabilitation and sobriety was a big thing for him, and all of a sudden that fucked him up. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
I hope
Jesus.
that they get good punishment for that.
Yeah.
But saw that. And otherwise, that's all I got.
Okay. Cool. Well, I don't have anything else, so yeah, we can transition into our topic for today.
All right.
Our topic today, as Colin mentioned in the opener, the intro, we're doing a little bracket again of random things. Both Colin and I just thought of the most random XD things to put into a bracket against one another, and we're just gonna see what comes out on top. Just what the vibes are feeling between between the two options we get. Uh,
For sure.
this was really fun last time. You can get pretty ridiculous matchups, so looking forward to that.
Yep. Me too.
Alrighty. Well, do you remember what won our first bracket?
Uh,
Was it like
I remember between
mom?
like validation from your father and
Oh yeah,
pop. I think.
that's right. Yeah, I don't remember what won, but maybe it was
I
validation.
think it was, I think it was pop. You're right. I could go back to her.
Oh man, let's see.
Uh,
There they are, May
let's
3rd.
see. Blue
Oh, blue
raspberry
red.
flavored.
Was that, that's a pretty good winner if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah, blue raspberry flavored candy or validation from your
was,
father. Oh man. All right.
so that's a taste of what
Yeah, a taste of what's to come. Um,
random teams brackets.
okay.
Today we're starting off with confetti versus Chicago style deep dish pizza.
Ooh, not a good combo, I can say that. Um, possibly deadly combo, actually. But
Maybe.
maybe depends depends on the amount of confetti. Um, I mean, to be completely honest, I feel like I don't have any like strong feelings towards confetti. Like I feel like there's never been a time I'm like, oh my god, this could use some confetti. You know what I mean? Like it always feels like a little bit overboard for me. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, but deep dish pizza can also be a mess, but it's a delicious mess. I don't know. What are your thoughts on, on this?
Well, I also don't have like super strong thoughts on confetti. I think that it's a good way to end a show. 21
Yeah,
Pilots do a good job
true.
of using confetti. Um, though the only time I was on the floor to experience the confetti, I was very sweaty, and that confetti stuck to me like nobody's
I
business.
remember that. That was funny.
Which, part of the experience. I'm not too mad about it. I think it's great in that sense, but otherwise, it is a mess, and it's just a bunch of paper. So how good is that for the environment?
True.
Um,
I think
but
there are environmental friendly confettis because I remember
yeah,
that discussion coming up with 21 Pilots before.
that is true.
No.
Um, but yeah, but Chicago style deep dish pizza, that is some good stuff. I don't have it very often. I don't think you can have it very often
Yeah.
without it killing you. But it is very tasty. I'm a Lou Malnati's guy,
Hmm.
um,
We do
but
Giordano's, but yeah.
also good. But the I'm a big fan of it. It's a you don't eat it with your hands, but
If you're not a pussy, you do.
well, okay.
I'm kidding.
But it is very, very good, and I don't have it very often. But when I do, it is a nice treat.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling Chicago style deep dish pizza, but confetti can be good sometimes.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Thank you for giving confetti a little bit of love because I agree. But yes, Chicago style deep dish pizza.
Okay.
And for those outside of Chicago who may be watching this, this is not like Colin was saying. It's a treat. It's not the type of pizza we get all the time.
It is it's very like once in a while. Otherwise, it's like usually tavern style, square cut.
Yeah.
That's more Chicago than deep dish.
Yeah.
But up next, we got the average chicken breast versus a McDonald's breakfast.
Hmm. I mean, hmm. I mean, McDonald's breakfast is pretty good.
It,
Like low key, their breakfast should not be as good as it is. I think I would even say, I mean, you work there, so I mean, you can you can definitely have a valid opinion on this. But I feel like the breakfast is even better than the lunch and dinner stuff. Um,
yeah.
like just those egg McMuffins, the hash brown especially. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably still get a chocolate milk at my ripe age of 23. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. The average chicken breast, I mean, it's chicken, all right.
Yeah. When you have like a fried chicken dinner, are you usually going for the breast or are you going for other pieces?
I am actually not. I am. I think we've had this discussion off pod before. Actually, we definitely have when we were in the deli. But I'm a dark meat kind of guy. When
Yeah.
chicken and turkey and stuff like that, I don't really like when the chicken's a little drier. Um,
Mm,
I like the juices of the dark meat.
yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Chicken breast is not great. A lot of the time, it's dry. It's boring. It's tough a lot of the time too. Um, it's just if you want a good chicken breast, you really got to go somewhere like that's really really good. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like if you go to like Popeyes and get like a really fresh piece, maybe. But like
Yeah.
otherwise, fucking, I'm a thigh guy. I'm a leg guy all the way.
Same
Those are
here.
dark meat. It's more flavorful. It's softer. It's juicier. It just tastes so much better.
Yeah.
Um, and but McDonald's breakfast, that is some banger shit. I had it
Hmm.
before work this morning. I'm a big biscuit sandwich guy.
Mm,
I get the bacon egg and cheese biscuit as well as a hash brown and an orange juice.
nice.
It's really good stuff. I would probably honestly agree that the breakfast is better than um, the lunch and dinner options. While there are good lunch and dinner options, like the McCrispy is good.
Hmm.
Um, the breakfast, you get people trying to order breakfast at like 3 p.m. for a reason
Yeah.
because they want sweet hash browns. But
Yeah.
gotta get up early for that.
Yeah. Is it
Um,
not all day breakfast anymore?
it is not. No.
It probably
There
hasn't
might
been
be
for a long time, but
there might be some locations, but breakfast for us ends at 10:30 most days, except for Sunday, which ends at 11 for those churchgoers, I think.
absolutely.
But
They need that 30
uh,
minutes.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. McDonald's breakfast sweeps this one for me.
All right. Yeah, me as well. Me as well.
Uh,
I just thought the average chicken breast was a funny thing to put in here, so
that is, rich chicken breast is pretty ass. So
yeah, true.
all right, up next we got abstract art versus showering after a long day.
Ooh. Hmm. So, well, actually, you go first. I gave my thoughts first on the last couple.
Abstract art is cool. I think that it might be a little underrated. Honestly, I think it's a cool subgenre of art. Um, can be a little wacky, and I think
Hmm.
that paintings with a little wackiness does well because while like fancy realism and stuff like that is cool, I think that abstract is like a nice little wacky way to express yourself. But showering after a long day, that is that's really really good. Like after a long hot day at work, after like marching band in high school,
Ooh,
like those long days, and just like getting to relax, having that water hit you in the face, getting to wash your hair, like that is some really really good shit. Um, and while I like abstract art and how it, you know, how it feels in the eyes, I think showering after a long day is really good for the entirety of the body.
for the soul.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to add. I think you really hit the nail on the head with both of them. Abstract art, it's a little underrated. It definitely has some cool stuff. I like things that are slightly up for interpretation. I like when something can guide you in the right direction towards something, but the actual meaning is up to you. I think that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And I respect abstract art for that. But yeah, I mean, abstract art's like I'll professionally consume it every now and then, right? But showering after a long day, that's just good after any long day. That's a personal thing instead of a just admiration thing. So yeah, I completely agreed. After a long day, getting some nice cleanliness in you
All right.
or on you.
Either way. All right. Next up, we got building Legos versus Dunkin' Donuts.
Mm. I mean, America does run on one of these things.
It sure does.
You know, it's probably the Lego economy for how expensive those damn things
It's very
are. But I mean, look, I think Dunkin' Donuts is cool. They got good coffee. Apparently, I don't think I've ever gone there, but I know it's the cheaper alternative to Starbucks, and I think maybe even better than Starbucks. I don't know. I'm not a coffee drinker.
true.
Um, but I've had the donuts at Dunkin' Donuts, and they're pretty okay. Could definitely get better donuts at like a local, you know, donut place. I don't know if there's a name for that. Um,
Shop.
donut
Donut.
shop, at a
Maybe
local,
bakery.
yeah, maybe bakery, yeah, at your local donut bakery. You could definitely get better than the Dunkin' Donuts donuts, but it fulfills a hole, fills a hole. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, no pun intended. But Legos, just besides them shits being extremely expensive. Oh my God, I can't speak right now. They're also very fun. I mean, I definitely talked about this like when I did it back at the apartment, but I built like this little jazz quartet with Legos, and they were adult Legos, and it was really sick. I really enjoyed doing that, and then I built some Legos with my grandma last Christmas as well. It's like, you know what? I don't care how old I am. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is good. It's relaxing, and you get a cool little product at the end of it. So I think I would go with building Legos just because that's like core memory experiences.
That's true.
Yeah.
Um, I grew up, once in a while, our parents would treat us to donuts from Dunkin' in the morning on the weekend once in a while, and that
Mm,
was always nice to come down to. Um, though, with how many siblings I have, if you woke up a little later, you get slim pickings
yeah.
for the good ones. Um, but I had Dunkin' a couple days ago as well. I like their coffee. Their iced coffee is very good. If you go to Starbucks, I usually go for like like the more artisan drinks, like the refreshers or the frappuccinos. Those are better at Starbucks. But I don't know. Dunkin' iced coffee. That's really good.
Hmm.
I'm a caramel iced coffee with extra cream, no sugar kind of guy. Um,
Yeah.
and it's tasty. It's very good. And yeah, I like Dunkin', but building Legos, it's always kind of been a big thing for me growing up. I had some cool, like smaller sets. Like I got some Lego Harry Potter sets um, back in the day, but as the last couple of years have been very big on Lego for me. I got a lot of Star Wars sets. I got that Stitch, and I some flower stuff. They're just always fun to build. I love sitting down, putting on like a long video or a couple videos, just building Legos.
Mm.
I might like I might like I could honestly sit down and do like a whole set in like a couple hours, but I like to break it up into a couple sessions.
Oh, of
So
course.
I'm not like, just I'm buying it, building it, and that's it. I like to get my time worth out of it,
Hmm.
uh, and it's always a good time. Some of them can be a pain in the ass, but uh, that the after product of getting to just look at them and see all that work you did, it's just a nice feeling as well.
Yeah.
I like drinking. I might drink a nice coffee while I build some Legos, but
Mm.
the
Well,
overall experience
that's
is,
adult activity right there. Adult Legos.
yeah, that is true. And but yeah, I'm a Lego guy, so I'm gonna go with building Legos as well.
All right.
Cool. All right. Next up, we got buying V-Bucks versus folding laundry.
Man, I did one of these things this week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
which one?
It should have been the second, but it was the first. I saw Gus Fring in the Fortnite shop wearing some Star Wars clothing, and I just had to have him. I had to have Gus, so I did buy some V-Bucks this week, and have not folded my laundry that's sitting in a basket right now. Uh, um, I mean, look, buying V-Bucks, that I'm new to this. I'm an amateur when it comes to buying V-Bucks, but there is something special to it. Usually, at least in my case, I imagine this is how it is for a lot of people though. When you're buying V-Bucks, you're excited about getting something. So like it's kind of like a instant reward, instant gratification for spending your hard-earned money on virtual tokens to buy a funny little character or dance. It's kind of great in some ways. I don't know. There's something nice about it. Um, but folding laundry. Does anyone like folding laundry? I don't know. Like maybe you have it in here because you do, but it always just kind of feels like a burden. It's like washing it is fine because we're in the modern age and we can use washing machines and dryers and stuff. But then you got to go through the manual work of still folding and putting it away. It's just like I don't know. Maybe I'm just a lazy piece of shit, but I always I always procrastinate that part of it. And it's just like,
Mhm.
ugh, I still gotta do that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I get more instant gratification out of buying V-Bucks than I do folding laundry.
yeah. I also did buy some V-Bucks this week.
Hmm. That's one
Well,
does.
it might have been, it was either, I think it was Saturday night because after the D23 event or whatever, where they showed off some new stuff, they released some X-Men skins, and I wanted that Cyclops, so I bought
Mm,
Cyclops. And then I had leftover to buy the battle pass today, so
yes.
that was a plus. I like buying V-Bucks. Back for a while, I was like, I will never spend money on Fortnite, and now
Yeah.
nowadays, I've spent a good bit.
Hmm.
Honestly,
You probably don't want to think of the number.
no, I don't. It's, it's a good bet. Not nearly as much as you probably have on like RuneScape, but
I mean, it's probably
no,
maybe even. I don't know.
maybe okay.
Maybe.
But uh, but folding laundry, I do in fact enjoy
Oh,
folding
I'm
laundry.
sorry. I insulted you.
Uh, it's okay. It's okay. I know it's not for everybody, but I don't know. It's a calming activity for me.
Hmm.
Feeling the nice warm clothes out of the dryer and like folding them up to put them away. I don't know. It's just calming. I'll watch a video, listen to some music while I do it. And it's just like a nice little chore. Out of all the chores that I could do, I'd rather fold laundry than anything else, to be honest.
Wow.
Um, it's just easy and it's nice, and like I can see how one can procrastinate on it, but um, I just like having some nice clean folded clothes to put away to organize.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. Uh, this one's kind of hard for me, honestly, because I do like both of these things quite a bit.
Hmm.
Um, but I think the one that's best for me, like better for me, like in a satisfactory kind of way, I feel like folding laundry for me is better.
All right. Well, what happens when this happens is we will. Oh, we're about to move one on.
Oh, no, I just,
Oh, okay. Uh,
uh,
we're gonna do a little verbal game of rock paper scissors to decide who wins in this disagreement, and then for future disagreements, we will switch off between who gets to pick. Yeah, the winner alternates between them. But for this first one, we gotta decide it. So
yes.
I will do a rock paper scissors shoot, and then say my item. Cool.
Okay.
All
Yep.
right. Rock paper scissors shoot scissors.
Rock.
Damn. All right. Folding laundry moves on.
Might be an unpopular choice here.
I don't know. Maybe I have the unpopular opinion. I don't really know the public consensus on folding laundry.
I don't, but sound off in the comments. All you laundry fold lawyers.
Yeah, and you laundry
Uh,
folding haters. It sounds like a weird like childhood censor for like motherfucking just like you laundry folding haters. Yeah.
um, all right. Up next, we got a grocery store rotisserie chicken
Oh
versus Donatello the turtle.
man. Uh, these are both your picks. So do you want to talk about them first?
They are. I'm a big fan of grocery store rotisserie chicken. Um, I like eating the skin the most. I think the skin is like my favorite part of a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
But like, there's so much you can do with one. You can make it into a bunch of different meals, save it to put in like a salad or any other meal throughout the week. It's just like a nice, not too expensive, just like ingredient, and it's just tasty on its own as well. They're not the most fun to make, as I know, working in the deli for a couple of years. Um, but to eat, I enjoy them quite a bit. Donatello has always been my favorite turtle, my favorite Ninja Turtle.
Is that the purple
Um,
one?
that is the purple one.
Makes sense.
Yes. For those who don't know, purple is my favorite color. But
Mm.
even before I claimed purple as my favorite color, I did enjoy that turtle the most. I just like his vibe. I always thought like the bow staff in comparison to like the nunchucks, the sai, and the katanas was like cool. Was a cool thing. Um,
Mm.
and he's like nerdy, but he's in all the iterations that I've seen him in. I've seen him in. He's always been very funny. And yeah, I like both of these things very much. But I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if we've talked about this before. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. If you couldn't tell from my question beforehand, I do not have any experience with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um, so therefore, I don't really have any strong opinions. I mean, he sounded like a cool guy when you described him. Like I liked his weaponry, and nerdiness, I guess. Power to the nerds. Um,
Yeah.
um, grocery store rotisserie chicken, I do have experience with because I too worked in that deli for a bit. Although you have more experience with it than I do. But like you were saying, I mean, it's got versatility. There's a lot of recipes you can do with just a good rotisserie chicken that will turn out really nice. All you gotta do is just buy it from your local deli. And it
Yeah.
just tastes good too. Like I said, the skin's pretty good. I like rotisserie chicken when it's fresh, as
Yeah.
well. It kind of when it's not fresh, it gets into that dry chicken like we talked about earlier with the chicken breast.
Yeah. Right.
So I like when it's a little juicy, and I can steal a leg or thigh off of it or something. But Yeah, I mean, I would probably go with grocery store rotisserie chicken, unfortunately, just because I don't have any attachment to Donatello the turtle.
Yeah, that's all right. Honestly, right now, a grocery store rotisserie chicken sounds pretty good.
Hmm.
I like the turtles, but I haven't watched any turtle content in a while. So right now, I'm feeling rotisserie. I can go with rotisserie with you.
All right. Yeah, I think the furthest extent I have with the turtles is I had a friend in like elementary school, who I went over to his house and I think we played like the TMNT movie game, the
Uh,
movie crossover game.
that was a good game on the
But
Wii.
I have a couple of them like in my head still.
Hmm. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, next up, we got scented candles versus controlled procrastination,
Mm,
and these are both yours. So why
that's
don't you
true.
start off?
That is true. Man, these were both pretty random. I mean, controlled procrastination. If you could not tell, that's kind of my jam and butter, you know. Um, and it's uh, it's it's part of me really, especially during school, when I was in school and doing stuff. I was very good at putting things off but starting them at the correct time to where like I wasn't putting in bad work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just starting it at the exact right time where it's like, all right, now we got to get to this, but I can focus on it and do what I need to do for these next 2 days before it's due, if that. And Yeah, I mean, I think there's an art to it. There's definitely you gotta be strategic. You gotta be thinking ahead, and worrying about it, but not necessarily worrying about it. It's great. Um, and this stems really nicely into my comments about folding laundry as well. um, when the clothes start running dry, that's when that laundry's got to get got to get folded. Um,
Do you
uh,
fold it or you pick through it to find stuff?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you fold it or do you just pick through it to find stuff?
Oh no, I whenever I fold it, I definitely do it all in one go. Because if I just did that, then I would be taking up so many baskets. I would, it all has to go at once. I can't be picking through it like that.
Oh, okay.
I know Vince. Hopefully, he doesn't mind me exposing him. But I know he kind of did that sometimes. So when he after his laundry days, he like picked through them on his floor and stuff. But anyways, sorry, Vince. Scented candles, those can be pretty cool sometimes. They can have some pretty
Yeah.
good scents. I like the ones that smell like sweets. Like I
Yeah.
remember, I think I think it might have been one I bought for my ex or something, but it was like a toasted marshmallow smelling one, and I can still smell
Mhm.
that to this day. It was like a really, really good scented candle. Um, and like there's some that smell like campfires or trees or flowers or something like that. It's kind of
Yeah.
a it's kind of an interesting market. I wonder how they do that. I honestly have no idea how they put a smell into a candle.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that process?
I think it's just like liquid scents that they will mix into wax.
Yeah. I guess
So,
so. Where do they get the liquid scents though? Just a combination
uh,
of things that magically smell like it.
well, I mean, I think it kind of works like candy, where they kind of like try to find ingredients that make things smell the
Hmm.
way that other things smell, like how like every flavored jelly beans, they kind of like find stuff that smells the way that like gross things
Taste.
taste or
Yeah.
smell, so they can get the most authentic thing. So it's probably something like that.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. But it's a cool little market. If you're going into like a Bath and Body Works, that's the part that I'm interested in there. I don't really care about the
Oh yeah.
million types of soaps. I'm gonna be sitting there smelling little candles. So But anyways, I would probably still go with control procrastination because, like I said, that's my bread and butter. It's what it's what my sweet dreams are made of. This I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, what do you think of what do you think of this matchup, Colin?
Well, I love a scented candle. I think it's very it helps with relaxation. It makes a room smell nice. You know, you walk. you light a candle, you walk out of that room for a little while, do something, you open that door back up to that nice smell of whatever you picked out, whether it's like
Mm.
apple, toasted marshmallow, like campfire, that kind of stuff. It could be anything, literally anything. You want a candle that smells like something. You want a candle that smells like my vagina.
I was just
You
about
could
to
buy
say
that
that.
one.
Yeah.
You can buy that. You can buy anything.
How did
But
how did they get the smell for that one? I don't
they
want to
just
know.
they just stuck their nose in Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, this smells like skin." Uh, but candles are very nice. I think they add a lot to their space they're in. Um, but controlled procrastination, I don't know, man. Uh, Procrastination is kind of a problem for me.
Yeah.
And like, it's really hard for me to control it. Like, I can, because like, if I put something off, like, if I'm like, I'm gonna put this off for now, I'll get back to it. I usually never end up getting back to it.
Mm.
Uh, because getting back to things makes me anxious, and thinking about things that I have to do makes me nervous. So it doesn't
Yeah.
really help. So if I procrastinate on something, I'm way, way less likely to actually do it.
Yeah.
Um, and it's never really a controlled thing for me.
I will say, for me, it almost entirely depends on whether or not there's like a solid deadline. Like
Yeah,
if there's like a time it needs to be done by, that's when I can control it. If not, then I also fall into that same boat. But yeah.
yeah. Deadlines help, but I don't know. Procrastination, it's just it doesn't help me with anything. But I scented candles do, so I'm gonna go scented candles here.
Okay.
But you
Unfortunately, I
do.
do win that. Yeah.
All right.
All
Troll
right.
procrastination moves on.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There we go.
Up next, we got those springy door stoppers. Uh, and then you got wizardry.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
I mean,
uh,
yeah. You go. You go.
yeah, those door stoppers that you like flick and they make a fun noise.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Growing up, I was like getting down on the ground if I was bored and just playing with those for a little while.
Hmm.
Once in a while, I'll still flick one just for fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just to feel something.
but just to feel some sort of good thing from my past.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are fun. They make a good noise. It's a good noise to me. Uh, Wizardry is very cool. I think that's if being a wizard was a real thing, I'd like to get into that. I think that'd be a cool thing to get into. Cast some spells. You know, uh, Harry Potter. Growing up with that was always wanting to be a wizard was big for me being
Hmm.
when I was little. And when I figured out that I couldn't do that, I guess I just got down on the ground and played with some springy door stoppers. So, uh,
Yeah. Had to make do.
uh, but wizardry's cool. Um, but it's not real like a springy door stopper. So,
Hmm. Damn, he just broke some child's heart somewhere. Um,
so
um, yeah, I mean, springy door stoppers. Yeah, I mean, I had a very imaginative mind as a kid, so I'm sure I used to make a lot of stories with my race cars and whatever. So I'm sure that was a enemy at some point or something. Um,
mm,
but they are fun to flick. Some of them are a little stern, so then like if you flick them, it's like you know maybe painful or just not fun. But I I,
yeah.
I see the vision. I know what type you're talking about here. The genre of springy doorstopper. Um, but yeah, wizardry. I mean, it's very versatile. I mean, it could be Harry Potter. Could be of Waverly Place. Could be
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Could be Lord of the Rings type wizardry.
Mm,
There's a whole bunch. I will say when I'm playing like fantasy games, such as Skyrim or like even RuneScape a little bit, I don't really like playing as a mage for some reason, mage or wizard. But in real life, it would be pretty fun. I feel like it'd be a little different. Uh, but pretty much endless. Um, I think for me, we're disagreeing a lot on this one, but I think the concept of a wizard is cooler to me than a springy door stopper because I don't know. Sometimes those things are just a little annoying when you're trying to close a door.
Yeah, I mean, the more wizards you did bring up, um, I did get swayed a little bit. I forgot
Oh.
about Wizards of Waverly Place, and
Hmm.
um, the thought of D&D also popped into my
Oh, of
mind as you were
course.
speaking. So there are those things where you can kind of bring wizardry into real life in a way through storytelling. So yeah, uh, I might agree with you here. I
Oh,
think doors. If you get a good door stopper, um, it can be nice to flick, but there are those turn ones which I didn't think about.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
I was quite the persuasive man there, wasn't I?
yeah, he persuaded me very
Yeah.
well.
All right.
Fair.
Okie dokie. Wizardry moves on.
All right. Up next, we got the Luna jingle
Hmm.
versus 2 a.m. on a Friday night.
All right. For those unaware, 773-202
Bum, 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 bum.
Luna.
Today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, or those three first numbers they do switch depending on what your
Yeah.
area code.
I
So
think the entire number can switch, can it?
probably.
Yeah. Because
I think Luna stays the same. Those last four numbers stay the
yeah.
same.
Yeah, maybe the last ones do. Yeah, because I remember there was someone in like high school who like moved to our school from like North Carolina, and like we all sang the Luna theme song at some point. She's like, "What the hell are you guys using for numbers?" Like, and then she sang hers, and it was like it sounded so unnatural. I was like, "What the hell?" Anyways,
I think they talked about this on Choco Sandwich as well. I think
oh,
Jay
they may
Schlatt
have, yeah,
had a completely different one from Ted. They're like, what the fuck?
yeah. Oh, those silly
um,
Easterners.
uh, but
Yeah,
yeah, the Luna jingle's good though.
yeah.
That was always I hated commercials growing up, but whenever that one came on, that jingle was always nice. That one, the Empire,
Hmm.
and the General were always good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
all good choices.
what was your thought process between 2 a.m. On a
I
Friday night?
mean, I feel like 2 a.m. on a Friday night, it's a different vibe. Because originally I was gonna have Friday nights, and I was like, well, let's get a little more specific. um, I feel like when it's a 2 a.m. on a Friday night, that's usually a pretty good Friday night. You know what I mean? Like that's just it's just a vibe. It's the weekend's coming, and it's I mean, I know not everyone's a night owl, but it's just I don't know. It's a relaxing little time. Just you don't have to worry about getting up. You don't have to worry about you know the daily life, I guess, of the work
Yeah.
weekday. And then for me, it's it's a time I'm playing with my friends usually as well. So it's just a got that slight sleepiness to calm all the nerves of what's going on in life. Just relaxing on a Friday night. I don't know.
Yeah,
That
that's
was the
cool.
vision.
I was confused on whether you meant Thursday into Friday or Friday into Saturday, but I see you mean Friday.
Oh, yeah. Friday, yeah. Sometimes my terminology gets weird. To me, when it's when it's the day, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
gone to sleep yet, so it's not Saturday.
I
Um,
got you. I got you.
yeah,
Yeah, that is a nice vibe. I don't usually stay up that late at this point, but when I do, getting into those wee hours of the morning, it's kind of calming, kind of relaxing. Not a lot of people are up. You could be doing anything, playing
yeah,
a video game, listening to music, watching a movie. It's a nice, relaxing time of night uh, before the witching hour at 3.
yeah.
Um, you could
Is that
be
officially the witching hour?
3 a.m. Yeah, it's
I
the
did
witching
not know
hour.
that. Okay, good to know.
um, but the Luna jingle could be playing many times at 2 a.m. as well. So you could get a little crossover if you're watching
It's
cable
true.
television.
That is true.
Uh,
Yeah. You left the TV on and you're struggling to stay awake.
yes. um, but yeah, I like both of these things, but I might go at 2 a.m. on a Friday night. I think that's a nice vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them are pretty goated for me. I can't lie. I mean, Luna Jingle is just like that's always there. It's always there somewhere in the back of your mind. Um, but 2 a.m. on a Friday night, I don't know. It's just it's a vibe. I like the vibe. I like that relaxing time of week. So yeah, I will also go with 2 a.m. on a Friday night.
All right. Cool. Next, we got the color yellow. Wait, catch up.
Mm. And no, we're not like dumb and calling mustard yellow or something. We got the yellow one and we got ketchup.
Ketchup or mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yellow, good Coldplay song. Um, it's a color that we've talked about this before with the trench era of 21 Pilots. We've both grown a little fonder of the color yellow and how it can be represented. A lot of cool imagery with trench and yellow and like the meaning of hope and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And rebellion, I guess, as well. Um, I don't know. It can be a cool color, but it also can't be a cool color at times. It's a very what's the word I'm looking for? Like conditional
It's very,
color.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the conditions. But honestly, I would sometimes say that about ketchup too. I think it's kind of a conditional
Yeah.
condiment. Sometimes ketchup works pretty well, and then sometimes I'm like, yo, I don't really want to have ketchup. Like something about like I don't know if grease is the right word, but do you know what I mean? Like the slight greasiness of a ketchup.
Yeah.
Sometimes like the
Yeah.
oiliness. That's what I'm looking for. Sometimes that can be like really off-putting for me, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna have my fries without ketchup or something, or
Mhm.
you know, just sometimes I'm not in the mood for that. So I don't know. They're kind of both conditional things to me. I'm
Yeah.
interested. I'm interested how you feel.
Yeah. I pretty much agree. I think that, as you said, it's a good Coldplay song, but also the way that Trench changed, like 180 my thoughts and opinions on the color yellow,
Yeah.
pretty drastically. Uh, I like it a lot more than I did in the past, for the past, what, 6 years now. So
Yeah. Oh God.
it's well, almost 6 years. But yeah, it's a good color, but it is a conditional one. There are times where it's like, oh, why is that yellow?
Yeah.
It's it's but ketchup, when it comes to like dipping sauces, it's a classic one. It's good. The only time I'm really gonna dip my fries in ketchup is at Westfield's,
Oh
which is
really?
a restaurant that is it's a hometown staple. Um, I don't know. There's something about the ketchup at that restaurant um, that is nostalgic, and also their fries just taste good in it.
Hmm.
But it's really, I don't know. I'm usually more of like a ranch or even like a mayo guy with my fries.
Oh.
If you haven't dipped your fries in mayo, it's a good condiment to dip in. It's a Belgian thing to do.
I think
Um,
I've done ketchup and mayo, like the little burger mix or whatever with fries.
mhm.
I don't think I've done just straight mayo before though. Hmm.
Yeah, just straight mayo is good. It's very white, but it's mayo, and also just mayo in general is a white person thing. But it's good. But ketchup, Chicagoans get shunned from putting ketchup on a hot dog, but
Uh,
I enjoy it from
Me
time to
too.
time.
We're far enough
Uh,
away we can do that.
yeah. uh, but both of these things are good, but they can also be bad, as you said, conditional. But hmm, I might. I don't know where I want to go with this one, honestly.
Yeah,
Uh,
me neither. See, I think what I was thinking, while you were speaking a little bit. I think yellow can be like a really, really good thing.
Yeah,
Like it can, just look super striking and sound, and just like it just looks really nice. It could be a beautiful color and have beautiful meaning and stuff. But ketchup, I feel like I never have a strong like, oh yeah, ketchup to like anything. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah, that is true.
it's never
Yeah,
like it tastes good. Honestly, actually, I I might get like uh kicked from the city for saying this, but I honestly think the most time I would ever think that is on a hot dog is ketchup on a hot dog. I'm like, ooh, yeah, tasty. um,
yeah. Honestly, yeah.
but
Uh,
I think that's leaning me a little towards yellow though, me personally.
yeah, I think that's a good point. I'm never like, if I'm like buying condiments at the store, I'm never like, you know what, ketchup sounds really good right now.
Yeah,
Um, but yellow's cool. I think it's underrated at times.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm inclined to go with yellow as well.
All right, yellow moves on.
Mustard moves on.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got golden birthdays versus reading.
Mm. I was just having a discussion with my mom recently that I need to get back into reading because
Hmm.
I guess I think I went first on the last couple ones, but I'll give a little story if that's
Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
I used to read a lot back in the day, um, like elementary school and middle school and beginning of high school. Read a whole bunch, but I kind of lost the passion for it
Hmm.
in like middle of high school or so. But I think it's because I was reading things that I was forced to read for school starting around
Yeah.
then. And while there were some good books I read during that time, like Outliers and Catcher in the
Ooh.
Rye, I liked a lot too when we had to read that one. Um,
Yeah.
there was some good stuff in there, but like even like through college and stuff, I was just like, ugh. Anytime I have to read is for schoolwork or anything like that. So like, I don't know. I need to get back into it now because I think I'm starting to notice my own vocabulary becoming a little, definitely lesser than it used to be. I used to be a lot better. Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
be better and more articulate with things, but now I'm using these basic words all the time. I need to become a little the little nerd emoji. That needs to be me, um, with my word choices. Um, anyways, but reading can be nice when it's something that you want to read, and I think there's things that can be, a lot more descriptive in a reading format than, say, a movie or a game or something. The internal thoughts of the character is kind
Mhm.
of unique to the medium of reading. Um, and Golden Birthdays, I could give less of a shit about. But I,
Considering that's something you put in, but
yeah, I know. Yeah, I put the good and the bad, Um, uh, it was a random thing,
yeah, it's fair.
Um, my golden birthday was when I was 20, and I was just like, "Yep, that was a birthday." I didn't do anything special. It was
Yeah.
just like, "Wow, I'm turning 20 on the 20th. That's cool, I guess."
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there are people out there who make like a big deal out of golden birthdays. Actually, I'm almost positive of that, but I don't know. It just I always found it kind of dumb, and it was something I thought of. So on the bracket, I guess. So yeah, it's reading for me. Uh,
Yeah, golden birthdays, mine was when I was 17. So, it was boring. And, between 16 and 18, like it's really, really nothing. Uh, so you don't do anything. It's just a normal birthday. Uh, we were never, we had birthday parties back in the day, but it was always conjoined with my other May birthday siblings. So it
uh,
was, after the age of like maybe 6 or 7, those ended, and birthdays were never like, they were a nice like time, but it was never any like huge deal.
hmm
Reading though, when I was home the last time, I was like, yeah, I want to get back into reading. I've said that a lot of times for the past like 5 or 6 years. I've said that many, many times where I've just like, oh man, I wish I want to get back into reading. Uh, and for a while, I didn't think I had like the capacity to do it anymore. I didn't think I could just do it for fun at this
Yeah.
point. But after Oppenheimer came out last year,
Oh yeah, that's right.
read. I did read most of American Prometheus. I haven't finished it, but I was pretty proud of myself for getting through through a lot of that behemoth of a book.
Yeah.
After not having read really for a long time for school. Um, and like you said, there were good things in high school that I read. I liked The Great Gatsby, and
Hmm.
um, uh, some of the Shakespeare stuff was good. Hamlet was my favorite.
Mm.
But Outliers was ass though. I don't know what you're talking
Oh
about.
really? Yeah, I thought Outliers is really interesting.
Yeah, I'm not usually a nonfiction kind of person. Like American Prometheus was like different when it came to nonfiction because it was like
Yeah.
written more like a story rather than like just narration.
I like a
Um,
lot of that like conceptual like psychological shit though, which is why
yeah,
I think actually that book really introduced me to that I liked those kinds of things. So I don't know. I like
yeah,
reasoning and things like that. Yeah.
yeah. That's completely fair. I mean, I guess after reading it, stuff has stuck with me, like the 10,000 hour
Oh
rule.
yeah.
Like that one has always been in my brain where I'm like, oh, I wonder how long I've spent on some things.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I read like a lot when I was younger, like Percy Jackson. I
Yeah.
read all of those, plus like the spin-off series. Like I read a book series called Maximum Ride, which is about like a gang of kids who were all like they all had wings and could fly and things like that. It was like a
Yeah.
cool series. Um, but after middle school and high school, I fell off of it, and I want to get back into it. I got a little back into it last year, but not doing classes this semester. I feel like I could see myself doing that. And reading is just good for you. It's good for your mind.
Yeah.
Um, builds your vocabulary, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But golden birthdays, fuck them. Who needs them?
Yeah. We spent a while on a very easy choice, but you know what? We haven't talked much about reading on this podcast, so.
All right. Next we
Mm,
got schools versus autumn.
interesting.
That is an interesting one.
You go first on this one because I feel like I did first in a lot of the recent ones.
Well, sequels could be good or bad. If something has too many sequels, like say for example, like Toy Story, like
Yeah.
after the third one, they could have stopped making them, but the fourth one's not too bad. But they're also making a fifth one now,
Right.
which is like why.
Oh, so
But
when we say sequels, are we saying like any movie after the first one, not just like the second movie or something?
yeah, like
Okay.
sequels, three, anything that's a successor to the first, I
Okay.
think would be considered a sequel.
Okay. Good to know.
Um, but the sequel movies, or like even like TV shows or books, like anything can have a sequel really, and they can be good or bad. Um, if you get like a good series, they could be very good. Like we were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy; the sequels to that are
Hmm.
good. Captain America, those ones are good as well.
Lord of the
Um,
Rings.
Lord of the Rings, the sequels to the Percy Jackson books, those are all very good.
Hmm.
Uh, but sequels, yeah, autumn though. I usually call it fall, but
Yeah, I usually do too. I didn't want it to be confused for the act of falling. Yeah.
no, that's fair. Um, but it is my favorite season overall. I love the feeling of it. I love the changing of the leaves, the chilliness in the air. Um, getting the take those hoodies out and wear those, and like it's cool out without being like too freezing as we get into the winter. um, which is a very nice feeling because like after a very hot summer, it's just nice to get those like 50, 60 degree days,
Hmm.
and those crunchy leaves as well. Just what's not to love about autumn, really? Um, but what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, kind of pretty similar to what you're saying. I mean, autumn is also my favorite time of year. I think it's very nice for all the reasons you mentioned. I think the only time of year when I have any sense of drip is when I can wear my flannels. So bonus points for that for me. But you know, that's and just generally the vibe, like you said, just it's nice and cool and calm, but it's not like too cold or anything. Well, usually. Um, and it's just a nice time of year. The changing color of the leaves and all that. I have a whole song called November for kind of that reason. There's a lot of reasons for that song. But sequels, I think sequels are like really hit or miss though. I mean, like, of course we remember the really good ones when we talk about sequels, but I feel like just as easily there can be a death sentence with a sequel as well, like something just being so bad that it can even make the first one be like, not that great. Um,
Yeah.
can be very easily cash grabbed, can be very easily, nostalgia bait nowadays. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Rise of Skywalker is a good example of a bad sequel.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Rise of Skywalker. I mean, I still need to watch The Last Jedi again, but I like that one. But a lot of people would say that one. Um,
Mhm.
there's
No taste.
there's it, agreed. Best directed Star Wars movie. Fight me.
Oh fuck.
And uh, yeah. I mean, it really depends on you know how much care is being put into the sequel for its quality. So I feel like sequel is like really hit or miss. Meanwhile, Autumn, I feel like I don't know. I can't really think of too many like terrible downsides. I guess if it gets too cold in the autumn, or if it I don't know, starts snowing in autumn, that kind of sucks when that happens. Um,
Yeah.
like it's not really like there's too many downsides to the season. I feel like at least for where we live. I
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just a really nice time of year. So I don't know. I think
You can get some bad weather, like it could the changing of the seasons can bring like tornadoes and stuff, but
I guess that's
it's
true.
not nearly as bad as like the spring
Yeah,
though.
spring or summer. Yeah, but and I guess for me, because I get seasonal allergies when the seasons change drastically, so usually the transition into autumn is a little rough for me. But you know, I think there's enough good sides, upsides for me on autumn that I will take it over sequels. Me personally.
Yeah, I agree. I agree here.
Cool.
All right.
Shout out to the good sequels though.
Oh yeah, Last Jedi is one of them. I love the Last Jedi.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I think I've still only watched that movie when it came out in theaters, so I need
Oh.
to get on that.
Yeah, Last Jedi. I think it's my second favorite Star Wars, to be honest.
Damn, you would
Yeah,
get crucified for that opinion in some
I
places.
know. I say no taste, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right, another. We're on the second round now, and still have a couple new ones, and this
Yep.
is one of them. We have the constant Spotify UI changes
Okay.
uh, versus Chicago style deep dish.
Now, was this inspired by the recent Spotify UI change?
Maybe.
um, I mean, I will say this. I do think some people, when it comes to UI changes on any app, I think people get up in arms like way too easily about it. Like, oh, I'm so used to this. I like this, and now it's different. And then they get over it in like 3 days. But I will say that that is a very common trope I see amongst people. But Spotify. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that Spotify has done UI wise. They've done a lot of bad things otherwise. But UI wise that I haven't liked. I mean, I don't really necessarily like how it's harder to see playlists and just like general stuff. At least on the computer app, I don't pay attention to the UI much on the phone, but on PC, the playlists and stuff are kind of like weird now. It's kind of hard to. I haven't really liked that one. But I, I don't feel too passionate about Spotify UI things usually. In Chicago Deep South, Chicago style deep dish pizza is still pretty gas. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the pizza.
Yeah. The UI changes, they're not usually my favorite thing. I think a lot of them uh are pretty bad. I don't like what the home, like the home area of the app has become. It's like it's I would usually go there for like recommendations and stuff like that.
Mm,
Uh, but a lot of it is just like jump back in, or like this is Paramore, this is My
mm.
Chemical Romance.
Check
Like
out our AI playlists. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
like I know what all these are already. It's like, and I also don't want to listen to AI art, so it's like
yeah.
not my favorite thing. But like you said, Chicago style deep dish is gas, so I will
Pretty gas.
I will
Pretty
go with
fire. Okay.
that. All right. Up next, we got McDonald's breakfast versus showering after a long day.
Ooh, two treats within their own rights.
That's
Um,
true.
um, hmm. Okay, so I have a conundrum here a little bit because
Hmm.
I feel like if you were to take these both as singular events, like just one and one, McDonald's breakfast I think is more gratifying for like just the one time. But
Mm.
like if we were looking at this over the course of multiple runs, multiple experiments, I would probably enjoy showering after a hot or a long day more consistently than repeated McDonald's breakfasts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think long term speaking, it would be showering, but short term speaking, it'd be McDonald's breakfast. Um,
But, but if you were faced with one of them right now,
right now,
which one
hmm,
would you be feeling more?
my long day of playing RuneScape.
Yeah. Let's
or,
say you
or
just
McDonald's
worked at
breakfast at 10 p.m.
McDonald's,
I just worked a shift at McDonald's, you said?
8 hour shift at McDonald's,
Hmm.
or let's say some other job where you're not
Hmm.
like faced with eating McDonald's on a regular basis.
Okay, and we're assuming they got all day breakfast.
Yeah.
Loki. a, Mc, a McDonald's breakfast after a long day would honestly probably kind of hit. Um, I feel like I could chow down on a hash brown pretty happily after a long day.
Yeah, have
Um,
McDonald's breakfast and then afterwards a shower after a long day.
actually, yeah, that's the combo right there. There you go.
In the shower.
Maybe not that one.
No,
Too much, too far. Um,
my bad.
um, I think I'm gonna go longevity here. I think I'm gonna go showering after a long day. I think long term speaking, that's just something that will always be relaxing and nice.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree with you here. The McDonald's breakfast is a nice treat once in a while. Um, it is like more expensive than it should be.
Is it?
Um,
What is it
it,
nowadays?
it's pretty pricey. Like if you want to get like a biscuit sandwich, like I was saying, I think it's like $5, maybe
Damn.
more for just the sandwich. So it's like it's a little pricey, but it's a nice treat once in a while, especially if you don't get a discount for working there,
Yeah.
um, or if you don't like use your points in the app or whatever. But showering after a long day, that is such a good feeling, as I said in the first round. And while I love a hash brown and a biscuit sandwich, just the feeling of cleansing after a good long um, day is very gratifying. So
Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
showering
Cool.
for me as well. Alrighty. Up next, we got Funko Pops versus building Legos.
This is appropriate matchup.
Yeah.
Um, I will say off the gate, I don't really have too much connection with Funko Pops. I have the ones that John gave me for Secret Santa, some Office ones, and they got sentimental value because it's John. and all that.
Yes.
Um, but I would never really. I think I guess I have the Ned one as well. They had a
Yeah.
21 Pilots Ned Funko Pop. But other than like those special occasions, I don't really have too much heart for Funko Pops, me personally. So this one is pretty easily building Legos, but I know it's a different story for you. So I'm interested to hear what you say.
Yeah. I mean, a few years ago, in like high school, um, I I was big into collecting Funko Pops. I liked how they looked. I liked that there were so many different ones from like different TV shows, like niche things. I just thought it was like a cool little way to collect, and they are somewhere in storage at this point, so I don't have a lot of them right now. But the ones I do have are pretty nice. I have like some Daredevil ones. I have a Heisenberg.
Yeah, you have some cool
Um,
ones. Yeah,
yeah,
I will say that.
I collected a good few cool ones. I have a couple other Breaking Bad ones in storage. But and then I also have Post Malone up there,
Yeah.
from beer bong days. But they're a nice little way to collect pop culture. But building Legos is another really fun way to like you know um get into pop culture, but it's also like more gratifying because you get to build it.
Hmm.
Um, they're both cool to display, but honestly, I think Legos are better to display. Um, and while they are a lot more expensive, though Funko Pops can get expensive, Legos are much more.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Legos are just more fun. They're more fun to build. They're more fun to look at. Just that's something that's made up of like hundreds of little plastic bricks. It's just cool. And Funko Pops, they're they are cool, like I said, but Legos are just a lot cooler.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. Up next, we got folding laundry versus grocery store rotisserie chicken.
I love these kinds of matchups. This this is the magic of the random things bracket.
It is.
Um, I don't know. You have any thoughts on this immediately?
Uh, well, folding laundry did win for me last time, and I'm inclined to let it win again. Um, but grocery store rotisserie chicken is good. It's tasty, but like you said, it can get dry if it sits for a while or after a day or so of being in the fridge or something. Um, but folding laundry, like for me, like I said, for me, it's a nice, relaxing kind of chore. My favorite chore of any of the chores to do. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna go with folding laundry here. But
Yeah, I
what
don't
about
know.
you?
I don't know if like I'm a new person from when we last saw folding laundry, but now I'm looking at it in this context, and for some reason I'm just like, you know what? It is nice having it done when I do it. Like maybe I don't enjoy the task itself, but when it's done, I'm like, okay, well at least that's finally done.
Done. Yeah.
Um, and like I don't know, there is versatility with the grocery store rotisserie chicken, which I think is what I moved it on with last time.
Yeah.
Part of my reasoning, and that versatility is good. It tastes good, but I don't know for for some reason right now I'm also feeling folding laundry. Like I said, maybe I changed as a person in the last 30 minutes or so, but I'm also inclined to go folding laundry here for some reason.
Oh,
That's my internal voice.
well,
I don't
I'm
know.
proud of you. Proud of you, Mike.
Thank you.
Um,
Turning over a new leaf here. Um,
Have to put laundry, you throw on a YouTube video or some music.
yeah,
And, it might have a good, make it better for you.
yeah. Maybe I'll do that after this podcast.
You'll be faced with either playing RuneScape with Vanessa or folding.
Yeah, yeah. Tough choices.
But up next, we got Josh of 21 Pilots, Drum Island, an
Mm.
iconic part of 21 Pilot concerts. Or we have Controlled Procrastination.
I mean, he's my profile picture still.
That is
That man can play some drums.
You sure?
and even on an island. um, and if anyone's confused of this terminology, he goes on the little platform with like the kick drum, a snare, and like I think usually just a cymbal, um,
Yeah.
and then he'll do a solo on top of the crowd with the drum island, which is pretty sick. Actually, it's always sick. I mean, as much as I enjoy me some calculated control procrastination, the drum island is iconic, and their whole show with like being on top of the crowd and drumming on top of the crowd with trees and all that. Like this is like I'm pretty sure this is a staple of theirs that goes back a long time. Like
Yes.
I think when they had smaller crowds, he literally would drum inside of the crowd itself. Um, but
Yes.
yeah, it's pretty iconic for like their fan interaction with the show, and just like breaking boundaries of the stage, I guess, in ways. So yeah, it's cool. It's very, I don't know if it's unique to them, but it feels very core to their like performance. So yeah,
Okay.
and they're a very good live performing band. So yes, Josh's Drum Island.
Yeah. As I made it known for me in the last round, controlled procrastination is not my thing. But Josh Dunn very much is, and his Drum Island
Mm,
is fantastic and iconic, and I hope to be one of the lucky few to get to hold that up one day. But
we will see.
just seeing it from afar, still cool as hell. So
Yeah,
I'm also going Josh's Drum Island.
cool. He was pretty close to us last time.
He was not very far, but up next we have Wizardry versus 2 a.m. on a Friday night.
Mm,
Well, if you're up at 2 a.m., you could be playing a game where you are a wizard. You
it's
could
so
be
real.
playing where you are a wizard. You could be watching Harry Potter, where there are wizards, and there could be a good crossover between the two things. But my main thought is that wizardry might not be real, but being up at 2 a.m., maybe you're delirious enough to think it might be. Um,
Mm.
and, I just, this is a lot of rambling for me to go with 2 a.m. on a Friday night because I like the vibe that we talked about in the first round.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I think just to slightly paraphrase you here, wizardry may not be real, but the vibes are. I
yeah,
think that's the best way to put this, so I would agree. 2 a.m. on a Friday night.
thank you for that.
No problem, no problem. I thought that's what you were gonna say, and I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
All right.
Oh, this is
Up,
a new one.
yes. Up next, we have Waking Up After It Snowed Heavily
Mm.
uh, versus Yellow.
All right. Uh, two things. One of them being funny. Yellow snow. Haha. The other one. How old are we when we're waking up after it snows heavily?
Let's say this is pre being able to drive.
Okay, that completely changes the answer. um, Other Midwesterners, well, anyone who gets snow, I'm sure you you understand this as well. But yeah, when you're a kid and waking up after it snows, that's pretty magical. That's pretty great. That means you're waiting for that phone call off of school or probably email nowadays. You're waiting for you're not waiting for that. Get to go outside with your friends maybe. For me, we had I had my neighbors, but also people around my block. We would have snowball fights and just build little forts in the snow and shit. Like it was awesome. Sledding maybe even, who knows? Um, I think there's just so much potential when you're a kid and there's that much snow on the ground, and you don't have to drive in it. So yeah, I mean that's a magical time. And yellow, while that can be a really great color at times, um, it's not as consistent as heavy snowfall when you are a child. So yes.
Yeah. What came to mind to me when thinking of waking up after a heavy snow is just like, you go to bed and it's dark out, you don't see anything, but you wake up, you look outside, and it's just like
Winter
completely white.
Winter
Like,
Wonderland. Yeah.
yeah. And the winter has never been my favorite, but you know, just like the serenity, the calmness, and the quietness of like a snowy landscape is like very calming.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Um, it is, and like the way that like the sun makes snow sparkle as well. It's just like really gorgeous, and it also makes me think of Christmas, which is my favorite holiday,
Yeah.
and it's just a nice vibe. I love even like now, like if I don't have to drive that day, or if I can just be a if I don't have to go anywhere, I can just look outside and see some nice snow. It's just a nice vibe even still. But waking up back in the day, being a child, waiting for that call off of school, um, going outside to like sled or have like a little snowball fight, something like that. It's just a great vibe.
Yeah.
And yellow can be great, can be bad. Snow can be great, can be bad. But in this way of thinking, I think that waking up after it snowed heavily is a very nice feeling.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right.
All right.
All
Oh,
right. Up,
man, we're getting very calming now.
up next, we have reading versus autumn.
This is kind of a hard one. I feel like they kind of fit similar emotions for me. It's just like I said, a lot of calmness. Autumn, I think, is very peaceful and calm. When I think of it in reading, I think of peace and calmness as well.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know though. Do you have any like strong thoughts on either of these?
I think they kind of go hand in hand, like you
Yeah,
were saying. Just like autumn and reading just kind of fill my heart with the same kind of calm and serene feeling. Kind of like looking out and seeing that snow. It's just nice. Um, and reading like outside or like next to the window with like a candle lit or something like that while like it's raining in the fall time, or it just sounds like a nice vibe. And I think both of these are very nice. Um, but like I said, fall is my favorite season. Um, so I love reading. I think it's cool. Would love to get back into it as much as I loved it as a kid. But fall has always been my favorite. So
yeah. I think at this moment in time, I definitely would prefer autumn over reading, but I could see that changing in the next like 2 years of my life or something. I don't know. Depending on if I get back into just casual reading again.
yeah,
But at this current time, yeah, autumn I think takes it for me.
cool. All right. Autumn
Cool.
moves on.
That's the last of the new ones, I think. So,
It is round three.
all right.
First matchup here is Chicago style deep dish versus showering after a long day. Uh,
Ooh,
well, I mean, you might want to take a shower after having some deep dish because
yeah,
that is some messy. It like can be pretty messy, and it's also very
very
heavy.
heavy. Yeah,
Like yeah, so showering might feel good after that.
yeah,
Um, mm, right now, I'm kind of feeling like more vibey things in this bracket.
yeah.
Well, I love Chicago style deep dish. Just the vibe of a shower and how it makes me feel feels good to just think about right now. So
Yeah, I agree. I think, well, last time we had a lot of ridiculous things by this point. Somehow we're now in very vibey territory with a lot of these picks. So I maybe that's what changed my mind on folding laundry. Who knows?
maybe
But yeah, showering after a long day. I think that's what I'm leaning towards here too.
cool.
Deep dish pizza is great, um, but you can only have so much before. Yeah,
All right. We got building Legos versus folding laundry.
man, we really are in the vibes.
Yeah. Random
um,
vibes. Good.
Yeah, although for me here, as much as I turned a new leaf on folding laundry last time, this is very clearly building Legos. I still enjoy building Legos, and I don't actually enjoy folding laundry itself.
Yeah, I think this is where folding laundry takes its leave. While it is a nice little calm exercise for me, building Legos is even more of a calm and even fun time. So
Yeah,
yeah, building Legos is also the winner in my book.
sick.
All right. Up next, we got Josh's Drum Island versus 2 a.m. on a Friday night.
Mm.
Well, I'm inclined to stay with the vibe, but I don't know. I'm in a 21 Pilots state of mind.
Yeah.
Let's go with vibe.
I think Josh's Drum Island is the last surviving non-vibey thing here.
So, and I'm kind of to let it move on, but I don't know that the vibe that you created and we kind of talked about is of a 2 a.m. is it's nice. I
It
do like
is.
that.
Yeah.
I'm torn.
We go for someone else or ourselves, pretty much here. I mean, I don't know. Uh, I think the way I'm thinking right now, and maybe this is slightly too meta than we should do for these brackets, but like I was saying, I think Josh's Drum Island is the final thing that isn't a vibe on this list. And for
Mm-hmm.
that reason, I almost want to move it on, just so, just so
So there's variety.
yeah, just some variety. Otherwise, we're vibes versus vibes, which is what this is going to turn into, anyways. But
Yeah. Sure.
um,
Yeah,
let,
fuck it. Let's move Josh on.
all right, we love you, Josh. You know, just for Josh Dunn, we're moving on.
All right. This is a good little matchup here. This could be a
Oh man.
final one. We got waking up after it snowed heavily versus autumn.
Hmm. I mean, if we're taking that childhood magic into account here, which I'm assuming we are, um, I think that one makes me lean towards that, towards waking up after snow a little bit more. Because autumn is like, it's kind of like one of those things you appreciate more as you get a little older, because it's, time of calm and serenity and not extreme weathers. Um, but you know, but when you're like, it's that childhood magical feeling like that when you're a kid, and that snowfall like we were describing before, like it's kind of unmatched in my opinion when it comes, even though I love modern day autumn. um that childhood magic is not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I loved Halloween. I still love Halloween, but
Yeah.
back being a kid, autumn makes me think of Halloween and candy and dressing up, and uh, that was also I was torn between Halloween and Christmas being my favorite holiday as a kid. But I
I'm
think
sure you love
that
the Nightmare Before Christmas.
oh yes, especially growing up with my mom in the house, like
Yeah.
yeah, that was a very big part of my life.
Yeah.
And it's a I love autumn. I love the feeling of it. There was a little bit of whimsy for me as a kid when it came to fall and just the feeling of it. But I think that once winter came along and it was getting close to Christmas, I think all of my love for Halloween kind of drifted away as the thought of presents and just the feeling of the Christmas time kind of filled me with cheer.
Yeah.
Um, and while we're not talking about Christmas specifically here, snowfall always makes me think of that. And um, you know, uh, growing up, there were a couple blizzards, and going to sleep and seeing all that snowfall with like the light in the backyard, kind of like dimly lighting all the snow coming down. And then waking up to see how much it did snow was always really cool. But even when you weren't expecting the snow to happen, and you wake up and there's just that giant field of snow behind your house, or
Yeah.
just your front yard is covered in a nice layer of thick packing snow, it's just
Yeah.
really serene.
Sorry if I could butt in just real quick. Even at this age, even though I've been talking about how it's mostly a childhood thing, there is still kind of a night, somewhat of a, I don't know if magical is the right word, but there's kind of a somewhat nice feeling when like you just wake up and there's snow and you don't expect it. It's like, oh, okay, wasn't expecting that. I don't
Yeah, no,
know.
it is. I agree. Like if, like I said, if you don't have to like go anywhere, if you don't have to drive in it, it's really nice to just look out and see the snow. It's another story when you consider driving in it and having a license and having to go places when it snows, but um, from just like a visual aspect, it's very nice. So I'm feeling snow as well here. I'd love fall, I love autumn, but snow is just, I don't know. There's something about it.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
We're in the semifinals now, and our first of the semifinals is showering after a long day versus building Legos.
Hmm. What are you feeling here?
Uh, hmm. This one's a little difficult for me. I love both of these things a lot,
Yeah.
um, but I don't know. I really love the um just the feeling that building Legos and like having a video on in the background just brings me a lot of joy to build something and to have that finished product to put on a shelf to decorate. Showering is fantastic. It feels great, but there are times after a long day where you really don't want to do anything, including shower,
Yeah.
and that can ruin a mood a little bit. It might feel better afterwards, but having to like get yourself to go do that, not always the best. But building Legos, I'm always down for that. So I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
go building Legos.
Yeah, I think, I mean, not retread over all the words you've been saying. Like, I think the long term effect here is much more long standing with building Legos. Um, and like you've been saying this whole time, just like the act of doing it is fun, and then having it around is fun, and then admiring it for the work put into it is nice. It's like a little relic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a really nice thing. And showering it's more of a instant gratification, relaxation thing. But it's not like I'm remembering a shower I took last month or
yeah.
something after a long day. So yeah, I think I would go building Legos here too.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Goes moves on. Last thing in this round is Josh's Drum Island versus waking up after it snowed heavily.
I love you, Josh, but I had definitely have more memories associated with the snow than I do with Josh's Drum Island, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've witnessed the Drum Island twice, once from very far away and once from up close. And it
Yeah.
is a very nice and very cool thing to experience, no matter where you are. But yeah, the way we've been talking about after the heavy snow, it's really turned, it's really made me appreciate it even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Agreed.
love John Snow. That snow has just been a heavy hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, our last round here,
Ooh,
building versus waking up after it snowed heavily.
man. We
Talk about a good vibe together.
yeah,
You know,
we got oh man. I mean, like I said, building I mean, actually I don't think I mentioned that this episode, but yeah, I used to build Legos at my grandma's house with my cousin every year during the winter. She would always buy the Christmas sets or whatever, and we make like a village out of all the sets. Um, so yeah, that is a vibe together. um, uh, man, very childhood based things that we have here.
yeah.
Um, hmm. I first off, I must compliment the chef here. These are both your choices, so and they're very good. So compliments to the chef. Um, um, but I think right now what I'm being told in my heart is even though we've been focusing on the waking up after it heavily snows from the childhood perspective. Um, it does have another perspective as well, and like when you're an adult and you don't get, the call off from school, and you got to go into work or something, you got to go through all those shitty roads and all that kind of stuff. I do think that is an aspect of it that should be considered, since the childhood isn't in the prompt itself. But also, even if ignoring that, I do think the longevity of Legos, like we've been talking about this whole time, where you can just display them and then remember building it and remembering where you were when you built it and all that kind of stuff. Like it all kind of, in a way, it's kind of like a time capsule for me. Like if I look at, I still, actually I don't know if I do anymore, but like I think in a box somewhere I have some really old like Hogwarts sets that I built, and like
Mhm.
I can look at that and remember like, oh yeah, I got those for my birthday. I was like 11ish or something, I don't know. And just remember building that and the excitement I had for building those. Like it kind of feels like its own little timepiece, like a little chunk in time.
Yeah.
And I think that's really special about them. And while I do have a lot of memories associated with heavy snowfall, I don't think I have any like, I don't know. I guess I do have specific ones, but not, I don't know. I feel they feel more specific with the building Legos. I don't know. Something about it is
Yeah.
just, yeah, a little longer lasting for me, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. The negative aspect of waking up after it's heavy snowed, that you brought up, those are good to bring up, as I didn't put as a child in the prompt here.
Yeah.
Um, but there are negatives with Legos as well, as you talked about the price.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're building Legos, you either asked for those or you bought them yourself. So that is that
Real.
is a that's something that you chose to either buy or to have somebody else buy you. So that's so the price doesn't really matter to me. But having to go somewhere as an adult, having to drive to a grocery store to work, really have to go do anything, shovel a driveway, something like that. Um, it's those are a lot more negative than any of the negatives that I can think of when it comes to building Legos. Um, and I just love that vibe. So
Yeah.
I love both of these very much. But building Legos is also the winner for me.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
And there it goes. Building Legos wins random bracket 2.
Yeah, bracket teams brackets 2
Uh,
is building Legos tournament champion.
we matured a lot from the last from the
Yeah.
last random things bracket. Although at the same time, the winner last time was blue raspberry flavored candy, and this is building Legos, so maybe we're just 7 years old. But, all right though. Whew, that was more relaxing than I expected it to be.
Yeah, me too. The last one was a lot more zany, I think, but
It's okay. I like the contrasting vibes. There's unlimited potential with a random things bracket. It's great. Um,
limited games.
Unlimited bacon. All right. There we go. Put those two in next time. Actually, did I put that in last time? I think I
Yeah,
did.
I think you did.
Yeah. But anyways, unless anything came to you in this last like hour and a half, we could probably go to the song of the week if you'd like.
Yeah, no, we're good to go to that section.
Cool. Well, you were up first this week, sir.
All right. Well, I did listen to those two albums, and the Knocked Loose one was good, but nothing really stuck with me. I don't think I'd have to listen to it again. But that JPEG album was also really good, and one of the songs off of it, I really like the production on. So I'm gonna go with "Either On or Off the Drugs" by JPEG Mafia.
The first one was good with the beats. The second one put me up in the deep. The third one was sick.
All right, that was "Either On or Off the Drugs" by JPEG Mafia. What did you think, Mike?
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. I think I prefer that style of production to the ones on Scaring the Hose. I mean, I liked Scaring the Hose, but I do think more people people enjoyed that more than I did. But I
Yeah.
liked that kind of like stripped back feel. It was really nice sample, really nice instrumental on there, and Peggy was writing the beat very well on there too. It didn't sound like out of place or anything. So yeah, no, it was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Listening throughout that album, I was like that production on that song was like, ooh, I like the sample work. I like how um, JPEG flows across it. And there's no like lyrics on Spotify right now, but listening to them, I thought they were pretty good. I like the way that Peggy was doing on that song. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
what you get?
Well, I didn't really listen to anything like too notable that I liked this week. But with all the relaxing vibes we've been talking about this episode, something I have been returning to pretty frequently is that Claro album. So I'm gonna choose another one off of there, and I'm gonna go with Juna by Claro. All right, that was Juna by Claro. What did you think of that, Colin?
Yeah, I absolutely love that song. It's one of my favorites on Charm. I love the vibe of it. Her vocals are really good. That mouth trumpet at the end is fantastic. And I don't know, the just the very 70s esque production across this whole album is really good. Um, and I can only imagine the vibes of this album getting better as it gets cooler outside. So I'm
Oh yeah.
excited to see this holds up in the fall. But I'm really liking it as well, and that's a really good track off of that song, off that album.
Yeah, I was debating between choosing that one and Sexy to Someone a few weeks ago when I chose that one. But yeah, both I mean that song in particular, I really love the chords that are used throughout it are really nice, they're really creative. The 70s-esque production, like you said, like those drums just sound so crisp throughout. And those horns that come in are so nice. I actually want to look up if those are a sample or not, because they almost sound like they could be, but I don't know. They're integrated so well that I think it might just be original. Um, but yeah, it's just such a relaxing song. I think it's really catchy. I think it's really memorable. And I'm glad that that's one of the more popular songs on that album too, because that was one like from when I listened to when it released, I was like, ooh, that's a really good track. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
deserves it.
hell yeah. All right. Well, it's been a little bit of a long one. But you got anything else to add? Oh, actually, I meant to ask you, what is your profile picture?
Oh, it's a picture from one of the small shows before Clancy released.
Ah, okay. I think it gets a little compressed when it's in Discord. I couldn't even tell that was Tyler. It's all right though. Um,
Yeah,
but shout out Tyler. Oh, you're Tyler and I'm Josh. Wow. So cute.
perfect.
But anyways, do you got anything else to add for this week?
No, I'm good. We can wrap.
Alrighty, let's do a little rap. And I will not do that rapping bits ever again. Um, but yeah, if you're watching and you're on streaming services, so in that case you would be listening, not watching. We love you very much. But you can watch us over on YouTube under the same name, Broken Boys, capital N BOIS. And over there you can see our beautiful pictures of Tyler and Josh, as alluded to throughout the episode. Yeah, you can come over there and you can get links to all of our stuff in the description, like Song of the Week, that segment we just did. We got all of those, we got both of those songs as well as all these previous weeks, 181 weeks of music within 3 playlists. We got one for me, we got one for Colin, and we got one for both of us combined. And in there you can find Juna by Claro, or either I'm either I'm on drugs or not. Is that it?
Either on drugs or on the drugs or off.
That's it. Either on or off the drugs
On
by
or off drugs.
JPEG Mafia.
Yep.
In my defense, that one was a harder title.
Yes, it was.
You can find both of those within those playlists. Go check those out. There's a lot of good stuff in there. As for me, I make music under the name Plaintive. I'm in there and making new tunes. banging them out, on my physical drums that I have. And yeah,
Oh,
new songs coming out soon. But Catch Up on Your Plaintive Lore, Coping Mechanism, out now. Soundtracks out now. And yeah, go check those out. I also have an album of the year page where I rate and review music. I have my Instagram page down there. I got my YouTube, got my TikTok. I haven't made a TikTok in a while. Maybe I should do that.
yeah.
And approximately, I am a random distance behind you. I'm sorry, that's very lazy today, but
No,
it's
okay. It's been a long one.
it has been a long one. I am some random distance. You don't know yet, but you will once something else happens with Colin. Foreshadowing. Stay tuned. And Colin over here, he runs our socials. He runs our Twitter page where he updates when videos are posted and any other news that may need to occur. And he also runs our TikTok where he posts funny little clips of us doing funny little things. So go support both of those. He also has an album of the year page where he rates and reviews music, as well as a letterboxd where he rates and reviews movies, which he will in the future. I remember him saying that he didn't this week. Unless you surprise me.
No.
And he has an Instagram review page for music. And what is your proximity to the dear viewer, Colin?
Well, don't have much to work with this week, but
I'm sorry.
it's okay. I'm not too much of a random distance in front of you. I'm like, I don't know, 2-3 feet in front of the viewer. And we're gonna have to backtrack to see if we can get back to where you're not so far behind. I don't know how far you are, but you might be a good distance, and we'll have to backtrack to see if we can find you. Maybe look for your footsteps or footprints. Maybe it's in like that heavy snow. Maybe we can find your footprints in heavy snow.
Yeah.
But once we do find you after a long trek, if it is in the snow, we know it's cold. So what's the best way to get warm? But a good group hug.
True.
You're gonna be so excited to see us after we found you that you'll be jumping around us in a circle, and once you get behind our dear viewer, you're gonna hug them, and through the excitement, I will also hug the viewer, but from in front, and we'll be jumping up and down, and in that excitement and confusion, there might be a kiss between the two of us, Mike.
Maybe.
And yeah, that that peck might turn into more. Have a nice little makeout sesh right next to our dear viewer's ear in the snow.
Keep the lips warm.
Yeah, and it'll be nice, warm, wet, sloppy, whatever you want it to be. And that little embrace we like to call the love cage. So if you want your very own love cage, all you got to do is drop your address in the comments below. We will find you. You won't know when or where or how, but we will find you, and we will give you your very own love cage.
Damn straight.
So drop it down there.
Better do it. Well, thank you for joining us on this longer episode, for sure. Yeah, I don't have anything witty to say. I'm sorry, my brain's a little fried. But we will see you next week. We love you, dear viewer.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Bye-bye.